Have you ever wondered what truly separates us from every other animal on this planet? You might think it's our big brains, our complex tools, or our intricate languages. And you'd be right, in a way. But what if I told you the single most important innovation that kickstarted all of that, was cooking? Yes, you heard me! Cooking made us human. Literally, let's travel back in time. Way back, about 2 million years ago. Our ancestors, like Homo erectus, weren't exactly sitting at the top of the food chain. They were smaller, had smaller brains, and spent a huge chunk of their day just chewing. Imagine spending hours and hours just gnawing on tough, raw plants and meat. That was their reality. Raw food is incredibly difficult to digest. It takes a massive amount of energy for our bodies to break it down and extract the nutrients. Our ancestors had massive guts, huge jaws, and powerful chewing muscles, all dedicated to this exhausting task. Then, something incredible happened. We mastered fire. We don't know exactly when or how the first controlled fire was used for cooking, but this discovery was a game changer of epic proportions. Think about it. Cooking is a form of pre-digestion. Applying heat to food breaks down tough fibers, denatures, proteins, and gelatinizes starches. This makes everything not only softer and easier to chew, but also vastly more digestible. Suddenly, our bodies could get way more calories and nutrients from the same amount of food with a lot less effort. This created what scientists call an energy surplus. For the first time, our bodies had extra energy to spare. And where did all that incredible new energy go? Straight to our heads. Our brains are incredibly energy-hungry organs. Even at rest, your brain uses about 20% of your body's total energy. Before cooking, there just wasn't enough fuel to support a large, complex brain. But with the calorie-rich diet provided by cooked food, our brains began to grow and grow and grow. This wasn't just a small bump. It was an evolutionary explosion. Over hundreds of thousands of years, our brain size nearly doubled. This is what's known as the expensive tissue hypothesis. We traded our large, energy-expensive guts for large, energy-expensive brains. And it wasn't just our brains that changed. Our entire anatomy was reshaped by the flames of the cooking fire. With food being softer, we no longer needed those massive jaws and huge teeth. So, our jaws shrunk, our teeth became smaller, and our faces flattened, leading to the more delicate facial structure we have today. Our digestive tracts also became shorter and more efficient because they no longer had to work so hard. We literally evolved to eat cooked food. In fact, modern humans can survive long-term on a purely raw food diet. Our bodies are now so adapted to cooked food that we can't extract enough nutrients from raw ingredients alone. But the impact of cooking goes far beyond our biology. It fundamentally rewired our societies. A cooking fire became the first community center. Instead of everyone foraging and eating alone, our ancestors started gathering around the hearth. It became a place of safety, warmth, and light. After the sun went down, this extended the usable hours of the day, giving us more time for social interaction. Around the fire, we shared food. This act of sharing is a cornerstone of human cooperation. It builds trust, strengthens social bonds, and creates a sense of community. Think about the conversations that must have happened around those ancient fires. This is where storytelling would have flourished, where knowledge was passed down from one generation to the next. It's where early forms of culture, ritual, and planning began to take shape. How are we going to hunt that mammoth tomorrow? Where are the best berry bushes? These complex discussions, fueled by bigger brains and facilitated by the social setting of the campfire, were the seeds of human culture and cooperation. Cooking didn't just feed our bodies, it fed the very development of our social minds. It also led to a division of labor. Some individuals might have focused on hunting, others on gathering, and still others on tending the fire and preparing the food. This specialization made the entire group more efficient and successful. This is a level of social organization you just don't see in other primate groups. The simple act of preparing a meal together laid the groundwork for the complex societies we live in today, from the family dinner table to a celebratory feast. Sharing cooked food is still one of the most fundamental ways we connect with each other. So, while other animals eat to live, humans transformed eating into an art, a science, and a social ritual. We are the only species that takes a raw ingredient and, through the transformative power of heat, turns it into something else, entirely something more delicious, more nutritious, and easier to share. From the first piece of roasted meat held over a crackling fire to the intricate molecular gastronomy of today's top chefs, cooking is a uniquely human story. It's a story of energy, evolution, and community. It's the story of how a simple act of applying heat to food unlocked our potential and propelled humans on the path to becoming the dominant species on the planet. Next time you're in the kitchen, just take a moment to appreciate the magic you're performing. You're not just making dinner. You're participating in an ancient tradition that stretches back millions of years. You're carrying on the legacy that literally built our brains, shaped our bodies, and forged our societies. Cooking is our superpower. It's the innovation that made us who we are. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into what makes us human. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.